Daniel Cormier and Chael Sonnen just lit up a brand new debate in the bantamweight world, claiming that Merab Dvalishvili's lack of a proper warm-up may have cost him the championship belt. And what's wild is how fast the narrative is shifting. Just days ago, the conversation was all about how incredible Peter Yan looked in the rematch. Now, more and more fans are starting to look at the chaotic lead-up to Merab's walkout instead. After the fight, Aljamain Sterling actually broke down what happened behind the scenes. The plan was simple. As soon as Pantoja's co-main fight moved a few minutes in, Dvalishvili would start his full warm-up. The flyweight champ suffered that sudden injury, the fight ended abruptly, and the UFC was forced to rush the schedule. The Georgian got told to walk earlier than expected and didn't get his usual 20-plus minutes of intense movement, grappling flow, heart rate, elevation, none of it. He basically walked in cold. And now guys like DC and Chael are openly saying that this might explain why Merab didn't look like the machine we've seen in his entire legendary streak. Of course, excuses after losses are nothing new in this rivalry. Yan himself claimed he fought with a broken hand in their first bout.
Merab didn't get the warm-up that he wanted. He said they were thinking to themselves, they'll start getting ready, but then the Joshua Van Pantoja fight went as it went, and so they ended up going much sooner than they expected to. Chael, many people will say it's just an excuse. But Chael, you don't get to warm up the correct way before a fight. It has all kinds of impact, not only physically, but emotionally.
Daniel, I fully agree. I mean, in the world of excuse making, this one's going to go right over people's head, and they're really not going to understand. So maybe you and I that have been in the locker room can try to illustrate this, but it's a big deal. You will visualize a fight. You're thinking about Bruce Buffer. You're thinking about that walkout song. You're thinking about the crowd maybe cheering you, maybe booing you. And I only share for you, when that gets disrupted, at the last second, it starts to weigh on you. Now, whether it should or not can be another conversation.
Henry Cejudo believes the UFC might skip Alexandre Pantoja entirely and hand the next title shot to either Manel Kape or Kyoji Horiguchi. The champ suffered a brutal elbow injury in his fight with Joshua Van, and it's expected he'll be out for at least 6 months. Naturally, fans assumed the UFC would wait for Alex to recover and set up a proper rematch with Van, especially since that last fight ended so abruptly that Van doesn't feel like a legitimate champion in the eyes of many. In the meantime, Brandon Royval is set to face Manel Kape in a high-stakes clash. The winner of that fight could very well step in and challenge Joshua for the belt, while Pantoja is sidelined. Royval and Van previously shared an insane bout, with some fans even calling it the greatest flyweight fight of all time, which only adds hype to this flyweight shuffle. There's also Tatsuro Taira, who is coming off a huge win over Bandon Moreno. The UFC now has a real dilemma: wait for Alexandre or roll the dice with a new challenger stepping up immediately. Meanwhile, Muhammad Mokaev has been making waves outside the UFC ever since getting cut, and he revealed that his relationship with the promotion has improved significantly. Fans shouldn't be surprised if he makes his UFC return very soon, potentially shaking up the flyweight division even further.
Is they're going to end up doing Tatsuro Taira versus... because he just beat Brandon Moreno, so that makes him pretty much the number one contender now. You know what I'm saying? So Tatsuro Taira, they're gonna do that fight in Japan, and then we'll actually see how things pay out. Because according to Dana White, Alexandre Pantoja, his arm is just it's not gonna be back in time. So that being said, they're gonna skip him, which I don't think they shouldn't. If Pantoja is ready, the same thing with Merab, because of what they've done, they should automatically have rematches whenever the soonest time available. And then but let's not forget too, Manel Kape. Manel Kape fights this weekend against Brandon Royval. He puts a freaking ass whooping on Royval, which I hope he's the toughest threat at 125 pounds. Him and Horiguchi are the two guys I'm just like, oh shit, man.
Weeks after Ilia Topuria's divorce made headlines in MMA circles, PFL fighter Gazi Rabadanov opened up in an interview with the Russian channel Ushateka about his recent stint in Topuria's camp. He spent a couple of days there as a dedicated sparring partner, getting hands-on experience with the Georgian star. When asked about the sessions, Gazi focused on the striking side, breaking down the keys to challenge El Matador effectively. He highlighted forward pressure and footwork as essential, pointing out that Ilia is at his most dangerous when pressing forward. That's when he strings explosive combinations together, setting up knockdowns or even knockouts. Gotzi points out that Ilia's biggest weakness is his lack of precision when moving backwards, noting that he hasn't really been tested like this in the UFC. Fighting him in retreat is a proven way to disrupt his rhythm and create discomfort for a fighter who thrives controlling the center of the cage. Rabadonov put that to the test during their sparring. And Gotzi says it wasn't exactly smooth sailing for Topuria. This all comes amid the massive divorce drama Ilia is going through with his wife, complete with all the court battles. We actually have a video covering it on our channel. Check it out if you're interested.
Больше двигаюсь на ногах. Он более стоячий боксер. Он стоит и долго выцеливает. И если, я не знаю, если двигаться и быть немного быстрее, можно его перебоксировать. И от него нельзя назад идти. Тоже когда он идет вперед, он хорошо работает. Вторым номером ему уже немного сложновато. Можно ключи подобрать, и я поймал, он упал. Первое же касание, когда в него попал, я уже почувствовал, что он, уходит, и все.
Dana White has officially shut the door on any chance of Francis Ngannou coming back to the UFC. This all started a couple days ago when Francis was asked about his current situation with the PFL, and he admitted things are not going well. He said he is disappointed with how his career has gone. Since leaving the UFC, the momentum is gone, the activity is gone, and he feels stuck in a place he never expected to be. So when the question about a UFC return came up, Francis did not openly campaign for it, but he made it clear he would be down for it if the opportunity came. Fans immediately started wondering if a return to the UFC could actually happen, but now the door has been slammed shut. In a new appearance on the Mac Life, Dana White was asked directly about Francis, and he absolutely shot everything down. He made it clear there is zero interest, zero conversations, and zero possibility of bringing him back. The boss also circled back to the story he mentioned weeks ago about the altercation between him and Francis before the split. He explained that the situation was blown out of proportion online, and he wanted to set the record straight. Even so, it shows their relationship had been rocky for a long time.
Is there a world where you guys work together again? You think
Let me be clear on something too. When I say the physicality, it's not like Francis Ngannou came in here and threatened us, or did anything like that. But we're in there and he's telling me that I deserve the 50,000. I want the 50,000. I said, and again, this guy fought whoever the fight was on the card. We had determined that they were going to get the 50,000. So I started to walk out and he put his hand on my chest. And he says, "We're not done talking yet." And I said, "Oh, we're fucking done talking." Mm-hmm. It's not like, Francis Ngannou came in here and was physically, but that's what went down.
Mm-hmm. So safe to say, no interest in bringing him back. Better interest.
I don't know how I could make it any more fucking clear. There was nothing that made me happier than throwing that guy over to the fucking PFL.
Yeah.
Let me tell you what, if we let guys go, feel bad for the fucking company that gets them. We let them go for a fucking reason.
Yeah.
That's it from MMA Psycho. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe for daily MMA news.